He signed out from about 11 o'clock on till, I don't know, maybe a little bit before 11. Russ was in there, WB3FAU and some other stations, so that's why we had everything set up here on 40 ready to go. So yeah, I think the audio sounds fine, you know, and I think Nick will just have to be careful, because Nick, what I've noticed, you probably have too, is he has a tendency of hitting the audio, like overdriving things. I think he was doing that this morning. I forget if it was driving the power plant.
It takes up more modulator power, and it's kind of questionable as to whether that contributes much to your intelligibility, so to speak. But then again, that's up to you. And yeah, you're right. Tim gave you that mod reactor, and so yeah, well, true Heising modulation right there. I'm guessing you don't have a modulation transformer, that it is literally just that inductor, that one inductor, which is coupling the RF tube and the modulator tubes together. Which is the real Heising modulation definition. Modulation transformer, then what you've got is a modulation reactor and not Heising. So there's a thin persnickety definition difference between Heising modulation and plate modulation with a choke, but you knew that. So and yes, I'm in fact very familiar with plug-in coils. Years ago, I put together
the transmit frequency.
Mark 505.
Anyway, I got it rigged up. Transmitters. This just turns on the oscillator. You can see that shows me at 1885. But I'm listening on 40 since it's daytime, and 160 is kind of dead.
250 C5s and 12AX7. Guess what you get when you wire all those filaments in series? Yes, 124. That's perfect. No filament, or I'm sorry, heater train. And that has, because I still have this, a octal socket, a tube octal socket, and the broadcast band coil, the two turns for the oscillator were wound on the...
Anyway, I think it sounds pretty good.
What do you call it? You know, the shaft coming up from it, the coil form. And then you could run the wire inside the Bakelite and run it down to the pins. Carefully solder those to the right ones. The big that resonates at whatever AM broadcast band frequency you want it to be a big star on, and then the two-turn feedback loop. So yes, you could certainly fabricate something like that. I think it's a great idea. However you want to do it, you know, whether you use those banana plugs, you know, the binding posts you can get very conveniently still from Radio Shack. You know, that might make it easy, because then it's easy to mount, and the plug is pre-mounted, you know, to fit in there, and it uses the screw terminals. Well, it uses the set screws that you can put the ends of the coil in and tighten those things down, and there you go. So yeah, there's a whole ton of ways to do it. Love that kind of thing. No matter whether you're buying ham equipment or building it on your own, one thing that everybody has in common is they can all work on their own antennas, because they're so simple and yet so important. That's a nice thing about antennas. And one BCG.